Hey guys, iKailaKai here, and today we are going to be looking at a pretty standard matchup in the meta. Usually I try to look at these more unique things or upcoming decks, but we are looking at, very simply, the king of the first week of OP09 versus the king of the second week of OP09. Now, Shanks, in the very beginning, became a very strong deck due to the fact that lots of decks just couldn't answer what he was doing, and the reason why things like Doflamingo, for example, have taken his place as the king are because we have found decks that can deal with what Shanks is doing. As such, Doflamingo has been taking over as the top dog in the meta. However, there is a hyper control Shanks. I think the version of Shanks that I first showcased was somewhere in the middle of aggro and control, but there's a hyper control Shanks that some people are saying can beat Doflamingo, and for my own testing, I would like to test this and keep you guys here with me. For this video, we'll have Shanks going second, because if Shanks can't win going second, then he probably can't win going first, because both decks prefer to go second right now. And let's just get right into it. I realized from a lot of people's comments that I actually haven't done a full video showcasing exactly what strengths Doflamingo has, as it's always been fighting against Doflamingo trying to showcase the other deck. So I think I'll try to get that out quite soon, maybe even tomorrow, depending on what I decide to try to showcase. So I guess keep an eye out for that, because Doflamingo is probably much stronger than I make him look in my videos. Doflamingo's going first. We have Sengoku, and then we have Hancock and Weevil, which are all just solid cards, and then Single can help us find Jinbei, so this is fine to keep. For Shanks, this is much too much top end. Especially in this matchup, Shanks can only clear one thing when Doflamingo's going to be playing 2 to 3, so don't really want to see that right now. I'm actually testing the new Shanks promo in this deck, and while I'm not sure on its power, it's definitely not bad, and as such, just giving it a test this game. I don't know if it's actually going to come up in the game at all, but the art's great, and I can't tell for sure if I'm going to actually need a card if I don't test it. Right, onegaishimasu. Bundle, Sengoku, and search 5. Lucky Roo's kind of annoying. Yeah, let's pick up Law, and then enter. Bundle, put up, and then search 5. Lucky Roo's kind of nice to have, just in case we don't have something to play on the 6th on turn, so I'll pick up Lucky Roo for now. Enter. 7,000 leader effect, and Crocodile. Crocodile on play effect. Flip out 1, and because it's a Warlord, draw 2, and then put 1 to the top, and obviously this doesn't matter because we're not going to be able to play it anyways. 7,000 leader. 7,000 take. Okay. Enter. 5,000 Crocodile. I think there's some merit to defending this. I may actually end up being wrong on this, but my logic is that if I defend this and don't hit with it, in the case that he plays Lucky Roo because he's on 4 Dome, I can bounce it with Jinbei, and I have 3 on board. I don't attack with this, so it's active. Then the next turn I play Hancock leader effect and then have 5 on board, and that's much harder to deal with if I can just rest 3 things at the same time instead of 2, and it only costs me 1,000, so I think I'll defend this. I think we basically have what we need, so I'll defend with the same good 1,000. 4 Dome, Lucky Roo, and then enter. Jinbei. Jinbei on play effect, play Law. Law's on play effect, bounce back Sengoku to bounce back Lucky Roo. Right. 1 on leader, 6k leader. Leader effect, minus 1,000. 1,000. Entered. I feel like giving Doflamingo more resources is an extremely bad thing to do right now, so I think it's better just to not hit 4 Dome. Lucky Roo. And then I guess Doflamingo has some ways to get rid of Building Snake, but they only bounce, so it's not a huge deal, and it would have cost him 1 Dome as well. So play Building Snake and then enter. Let's go 5,000 leader. Leader effect minus 1,000 Crocodile. 5,000 leader. Block with Lucky Roo, and then on KO Law. 4 Dome. Hancock. Then Hancock on play. Check 3. I mean, we can get the draw, so that's good. And then also getting the red rock would be nice, so 2 top. Then put 1 Dome to leader. 7,000 leader effect, and then play Crocodile. Crocodile on play effect, flip over 1, and as it's a Warlord, draw 2, and then put 1 to the top. I could actually, very interestingly, with Sengoku, get rid of a card. So is there a card in my hand that I just don't want? I think I could use the red rock quite well, so I do want that. We don't need 2 teaches, so I'll put it to the top. 7,000 leader. 7k leader I would take. Okay. Bundle. Sengoku. Search 5. We're really not in any worry, and just Shanks struggles with 6k power, so I'll pick up another Hancock. Enter. as much as I want to set up Newgate so I can start to KO multiple things every turn, there's really just no better card than Rayleigh right now. So I'll play Rayleigh. And then Rayleigh's on play effect, I will minus 3000 power Hancock, minus 2000 power Crocodile, and then KO Hancock. And then as Crocodile is 3000 power right now, I will 5k into the 3000 power Crocodile. Okay, dig, and then end turn. So obviously I could Red Rock and Leader effect, but I don't particularly think that Rayleigh's as important to get rid of as something like, for example, the 7 cost Newgate or the 10 cost Shanks. So I think I'll hold on to it and just try to spread my board hard. 6000 Leader. I will Leader effect and then plus 1000. Let's start with Hancock. Check 3. Honestly, none of these are great, nor do I really want to draw into them. I might want the Red Rock though, I guess. I think this is just my lack of knowledge on the matchup if I actually want to have 2 Red Rocks or not. But I kind of feel like there's more higher value cards, so I'll send this to the bottom. And then I will put a Rested Don onto my leader. 2 Don. Teach. And then I will use Teach's activate main effect and put Weevil to the top of my deck. And then put 2 Rested Don to a character or leader. I will choose to put it on Jinbei. 7000 leader. Let's take this 7000. Okay. And then 1 Don on leader, and then 7000 leader effect, and play the Weevil. Then Weevil's on play effect, draw 1 card. I will kick course. I don't think I'll use 2 Newgates, so I'll get rid of the other Newgate. Minus 1000 power everything. I'll use the Building Snake effect, and then minus 3000 power Weevil. So he's now at 2000 power. So 2000 Weevil. Now I'd spend a lot of counter to defend everything. So I think we just let everything go and then rebuild from next turn. 5000 into Jinbei, who is 4000. Take 8k Crocodile. Okay. And then 12k leader. Happily take. Oh my god. End turn. I think first things first, there's really nothing else to do aside from Red Rock. Okay. Jinbei. Jinbei play Hankoku. Hankoku. Check 3. To top. And then add 1 Rested Don to leader. And then 6000 leader. Leader effect. And then let's 1k. I'm glad I held on to this instead of the Beckman, because I was hoping that, because I haven't seen Yasoktu, that I'll eventually be able to play these together. 7k leader. I don't want to rest my board yet because Rayleigh's just going to hit into it, so I'll take the 7k. 8k leader. Let's block. And then 2k, 1k. 1 Don. Building Snake. Building Snake effect. And then minus 3000, the Rested Hancock. Then 7 Don. Newgate. Newgate's on play effect. I'll put a Rested Don to Uta. And then 3000 to Hancock. So if I let this go, I end up losing 2 things. So if I defend this, I can at least keep 2 things on the board. 2k. Newgate, activate main. KO Hancock. Okay. 5000 leader. Leader effect. 6000 leader. 2k. 4 Don. Moria. Moria, pick up Hancock. 4 Don. Play Hancock. And then Hancock's on play effect. Check 3. I think the important thing is to just make sure that we don't whiff, although these targets aren't great. But honestly, I have a lot of targets. I might want to risk it, because the next draws after that really suck. I'm going to send it to bottom, and then if we miss, we miss. Put 1 Rested Don on leader, add 1 Don, and then 7000 leader effect. Woo. Moria. Take. Okay. Enter. Let's start 8k Hancock, 2k, 1k. In which case, it's actually better for me to not use the effect. So I'll go 8k into Hancock. I honestly didn't think about that while I was countering on this side, so I'll take that. 5 Don. Yes up. And then give 1000 power to my leader. 7k Jinbei. Take 4 Don. Makiru. And then enter. I'm in trouble. Oh, maybe I'm not in trouble. Okay, I just spent a solid minute trying to figure out if there's lethal here, because I think that I can't survive the next attack, because I only have 1000 counter in my hand. Nor can I really take back the board. The best chance that I'd have if I were to go for lethal here is to start with 8000 from here, and then hope that he blocks, because if he blocks to KO Hancock, then I could try my best with 9000 with Moria and Doflamingo to try to go through. If the 8000 attack is just defended with leader effect and 2k, because his leader is 6000 power right now. So I think maybe we start with this try to go for lethal, and then if not, see what we can do with the cards that we get, I guess. 8k leader. Sorry about my camera. 8,000, I will leader effect 2k. Now we just need to hope that we get counter from our draws. Lethal, draw 1 card. Okay. And then 7k leader effect, praying for something that will draw us a card. 7k leader. We'll walk, and then on KO Hancock. And turn. So I can do 8, 9, 10, 11, but I think it's better to start with 7, just because if he ends up defending it, then 5 goes through and I can use Uta as an attacker. 7k leader, take, and with the same logic, we will 8k leader, take, and then we will go 10, because if the 10 is defended, then we can go 6 and 8, and that means that he would need to have 8,000 counter in his hand right now. However, I don't, so I will take. In which case, 12,000 leader. I lose. Okay, so that was one of the biggest upsets in my channel's history. Very small history, to be fair. I didn't expect to be losing that as Doflamingo. I felt pretty comfortable the entire time, but Shanks was able to answer what Doflamingo was trying to do quite well. So actually I need to test this a bit more. This is the control Shanks build. Obviously there's 4 Newgate, 4 Rayleigh, and 4 Shanks. This KO Shanks wasn't necessarily in my first build, but the other 2 were. This has been coming up recently just because, for example, in the mirror, or even in matchups that are starting to pop up recently, annoyingly, like NL, being able to set up a building snake the turn before to take the opponent's 12,000 power thing, or just being able to take their, for example, 10 cost ace, is just very good. So people have been putting in more of this card. However, it's really useless against this deck, so I'm not sure how I really feel about it. Let's talk a bit about this Discuss Shanks, because it didn't end up coming up in this game, but I think that some people might be curious on my thoughts on it. So it's a 6 cost 7,000 with 1,000 power, and then on attack with 1 dong, if you trash 1 character card, you can minus 1,000 power something and then draw 1 card. So effectively what it's doing is refreshing your hand and then minus 1,000 power to something. So the effect itself is definitely not bad, but let's compare it to Yasoppu. Yasoppu makes your leader plus 1,000 power, but Yasoppu also has this 1 dong on attack minus 1,000 power. And the nice thing about Yasoppu is that he can be played on the 5 dong turn or the 6 dong turn, so that on the next turn you can play Newgate and then KO anything that's 6,000 power or less. The issue with Shanks is that you obviously can't play him on your 5 dong turn, which means he's exclusive to the 6 dong turn, and even on that turn you generally prefer to play Yasoppu because Yasoppu's survivability is higher. So the timing for Shanks is a bit awkward because you don't want to play this on 7 because you have so many things to play on 7. As such, I don't know how I feel about the card. I'm still going to test it, of course, and as it did come up in this game, it's not very good data. In this game, I ended up playing Lucky Root, which ended up being stronger in my mind than if I were to have Shanks, due to the fact that Lucky Root could deal with 2 attacks at once, whereas Shanks would only potentially deal with 2 attacks from the next turn. As such, I'm not exactly sure how I feel about the card. Don't get me wrong, the card's solid. It's just within this list, it doesn't feel like it really has a space. Now, some people may be surprised that I'm running more of the KO Shanks than the Rush Shanks, and actually, if you keep up with the Japanese meta, it's even surprising to have the Rush Shanks in it at all right now. Most people are just running these top end, and the reason why I'm running this is because most people are running 14 2,000 counters, and I just really don't like that version. And then because I didn't know what to do with those extra 2 spots, it was either to put it into more Building Snake in something like Gordon or Raise Max, or to make it 10 Shanks, and I thought that because I had enough ways to, even with the Shanks, recycle my hand or use the 0 cost event, that it doesn't hurt to have it. And actually in this matchup it helped a lot. I think that there's merit to even going 3-3 here, or depending on how the meta might shift, 4-2. This card's exceptionally strong in the mirror, and this card's just strong in general. So I think that you can maybe adapt this to be a bit better into the meta. I definitely think that there's more potential to Shanks than people are giving him credit for, but it is true that he does struggle into some of the more modern decks that are popping up, like Purple Luffy, Red Purple Luffy. On the flip side, we have Doflamingo. Now Doflamingo, this is the same list that I used yesterday. However, I didn't mention 2 cost Teach and why I'm running him at the moment. The reason why I'm running 2 cost Teach is because the 6,000 power line right now is extremely strong. And then rather than playing the 1 cost Perona, which in my opinion a bit awkward to use, Teach kind of helps you spread your board to an extreme if you're going first, which is generally where he struggles. So what you can do, for example, is on 3 dong, play Teach, and then put any 6,000 power thing into your deck, and then pull it out with your leader effect. And then on 5 dong, you can play your Jinbei into Weevil or whatever, and then with your 1 dong extra, and then Teach effect, you put the 2 rested dong onto your leader, swing, and then leader effect again. What this does is it reduces your hand to like basically nothing, but it makes your board exceptionally strong from the very early turns. As such, right now I have it in to make the deck much more aggressive. I'm not sure if it'll end up staying or if I'm going to keep 4, but I am testing it, and it is decent. However, because this deck has many ways to recur resources, whether it's through Crocodile, Weevil, Moria, or Law, these sorts of cards can help me maintain my hand while I'm trying to do something like that, so I definitely think it's worth considering more, and obviously I just need to test that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you thought about this. Maybe I made some mistakes. If you would let me know kindly, because I'm sensitive, I would love to hear your feedback. Anyways, don't lose hope on Shanks. He's still a good leader, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.